it's really been like amazing opportunities for us. I've made a lot of friends.
Yeah, definitely.
I've made a lot of friends, a lot of new connections. So that's been fun.
Feels like we've known each other forever. Absolutely, and we've only known each other a week.
Oh,
Incredible. 10 out of 10.
yeah,
It's like 100 out of 10.
So interesting, so insightful, and so new. I've never experienced anything like this.
Yeah, no, like, I was worried that it was going to be scary or that I wasn't going to enjoy anything, but like, as the days went on, I was like, oh, can't get better than this. And then it like does, and I'm like, whoa, it's really, really cool.
It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, you go to so many places and hear from so many people. It's just the most inspiring thing I think I've probably ever done. I mean, it's just the biggest opportunity, and I'm so glad I took it.
Yeah, it's genuinely been such an amazing opportunity. I didn't really know what to expect going in. But yeah, we've made so many amazing friendships, and I had a great time.
I think my highlight of the week would definitely be like having done all these things with these like-minded people, having met them, having seen that I am not as alone and singular as I thought I was. So that's been a really amazing opportunity, meeting people that's as interested in things as I am. So
Farrier Institute, overall, we both enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So we got to do work that we thought that we wouldn't be able to do, and I gained a lot of insight as to what it truly means to be a chemist, and that's something I've been like really interested in for a really long time. So I learned that like you can make mistakes, and trial and error is really important in actually achieving what you want in the end. But I really enjoyed it overall. It was really fun. It was a fun experience.
I'd also probably say the Farrier Institute pretty much for the same reasons as you said, but I also really liked WhatFX because I got to try on the bodymorph suit. And who at like 16 gets to say, yeah guys, I was at WhatFX and I got to try the bodymorph suit? Barely anyone. That's so cool.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't really interested in med coming into this week, but after the Otago Med Day, I've had such an amazing time there through all of the interactive lab experiments and all that, and that's really inspired me, so that's piqued my curiosity a bit around med.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea coming into this program what I wanted to do. So coming here, I got so many tastes of so many different things, but especially chemistry. We went to the Victoria University Farrier Institute and making aspirin there. It was just incredible. And I thought, wow, this is actually a job opportunity I could take, and I could be here in the next few years. That was my highlight.
I wanted to be a pharmacist. I did not know what I was getting into, so when we went to Farrier, I got a little like taste of that, and I really enjoyed it. So now I have like a bigger, deeper understanding of what career I'm stepping into.
I would say just try things out. You don't know where you're gonna go in life, and the biggest thing that I learned is that having a STEM career doesn't mean that you stick to the same thing. It's not linear. You'll have your ups and downs, and you can do a lot of things at the same time. You should never give up on your interests because you want a STEM career.
My big takeaway is probably I was really afraid to come on this program. I mean, I'm a homebody. I was quite happy to spend my first week at home, but I thought, you know, I have to say yes to these sorts of opportunities because they don't come around often. And it's just shown me that saying yes to some things, even if they're scary, is a great thing, and you can meet some great people. And I'm just really glad I did it, and hopefully I'll put my hand up for more things in the future.
Yeah, I really say backing yourself. I feel like this age as well, and young women, we're always doubting ourselves or saying maybe and not really being confident in who we are. So this program has just uplifted my own personal confidence as well, and with the support of my amazing friends. Like, even though we've only known each other for a week, I feel like we've known each other for so long. We're all really nicely connected now.
I recommend people going onto the website and doing the online course that is available anytime. Yeah, available anytime. And we have just completed the residential for 2024, so that's only like done once a year.
in the July holidays, so that's open. And then if you sign up to IYM anytime and log onto their website, then you get access to all sorts of different resources.
Oh, you have like 3 main options, which is IYM Anytime, IYM Online, and the current program that we're in right now, which is IYM Residential. IYM Anytime basically just has a bunch of resources from not only just like the cool, interesting STEM stuff, but also they take the previous recordings of lessons from IYM Online and upload it there as well. And speaking of IYM Online, it's like similar to IYM Residential, but instead of coming here, it's all on Zoom and stuff, and it's basically stuff like when I went, we did a coding along course, and we got a bunch of like panel speakers from Italia University. So there's a lot of cool opportunities like that, but rather than going to site visits, you'd get talks or courses along with experts as well.
Definitely do it. Just do it. Just say yes. Like honestly, just do it. It's so amazing. And even if you might think that you might not enjoy something, everyone enjoys it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy some of the things because it's not what I'm interested in, but actually it was really interesting, and it really opens your options up of what you could consider potentially doing this.
Absolutely.
Just apply. Don't think too deep into it. Just apply. When I was going to apply, I was like, I don't think I'm good enough for this program. And then you're here. And then now I'm here. So just apply. You'll meet a bunch of cool people. You'll network. You'll gain a lot of friendships, and you'll get insight into STEM world. So just do it.
You never know until you try.
Yeah.
So might as well apply anyway.
Apply. Do it. Yeah. I mean, if you're scared, do it anyways. Just get yourself out there. It's the best thing you can do.
I hope you will enjoy your time here with us.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Rashid, toko ingoa, ko Siri, toko whanu, ko Al-Gimzi, toko iwi, ko UAE, ahoy. Nō reira tēnā koutou, tātou katoa. Kia ora. Honourable Todd McLeod, New Zealand Minister of Trade, Agriculture, Forestry, Hunting and Fisheries, here with us tonight. You are most welcome and congratulations. I don't see him. He is. Yes. Okay. And His Excellency Taha Mackerson, Deputy Secretary, Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Australia Group. In fact, I don't see him. I think I'm just... Noma Harimai. Welcome. Excellencies, Ambassadors, High Commissioner, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin my official remarks, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge some individuals who are here with us this evening. Member of the Parliament, Andy Foster. Can I see you? Can I have your hand? Yes, in the back. Thanks for being here with us this evening. And the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps in New Zealand, His Excellency Mr. Ahmed Salim Al-Wahib, the Ambassador of the State of Kuwait. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaba. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we are here to celebrate the 52nd National Day of the United Arab Emirates. This day is an opportunity to commemorate the founding of our nation, to reflect on our progress and achievements, as well to look forward to the future. To look forward to the future with a clever vision and with optimism. On December the 2nd, the late fathers of the 7 Emirates, Shuyukh al-Masusin, came together to form the UAE making the beginning of a new era of our nation. Since then, the UAE has transformed from a humble desert nation into a global player in trade, finance, and tourism. We have built excellent world-class infrastructures, a thriving economy, and a diversified, tolerant society. The UAE National Day celebration this year marked by significant opportunities and changes as the country launched new initiatives to diversify its economy and promote sustainable development. The UAE's President, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, has declared 2023 as the year of sustainability, with the theme, Today for Tomorrow. In addition, UAE is hosting the 28th session of the Conference of the Parties, COP28, will take place in Dubai from 30 November to 12 December 2023. It's in fact just around the corner. It's starting this coming Thursday. Wow, time flies, as they say. The conference brings together world leaders, experts in the effort of mitigate and risk facing our planets. We are also expanding our role in global affairs and are working to build bridges between different cultures and civilizations. The UAE is committed to supporting mediation efforts, elevate diplomatic solution for conflict and preempt challenges. It aims to achieve the objective of the Security Council in safeguarding international peace and security. Ladies and gentlemen, I am confident that UAE will continue to thrive in the years to come. We have a strong foundation and we are building upon it every day. I'm also confident that the UAE-New Zealand relations will continue to grow from strength to strength. We have a strong people-to-people and economic relationship and we are working together to expanding our trade and investment ties by holding exploratory talks on the Comprehensive Economic Partner Agreement, or CEPA for short. A CEPA would further deepen ties between our two nations and create new opportunities for people on both sides. The CEPA talks are partly a result of fruitful effort by Her Excellency the Minister of State for International Cooperation, Reem Al Hashimi, during her visit to New Zealand in May. In September this year, New Zealand, then the Minister for Trade and Export Growth, Dominic Corner, he made a successful official visit to UAE. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, on this special day, I would like to thank the government of New Zealand for its friendship and support for making my Mahi easier. I would like also to thank Kiwis for their warm welcome and Manaki for my Whanawa and me. And I wish the people of Aotearoa, New Zealand and all the UAE and UAE the best. May our two nations continues to prosper and flourish, bounding by shared values of respect, cooperation, and deep appreciation for the beauty of the world. Once again, thank you for joining us this evening in celebrating this Mountainous Day. It is always a pleasure to come together and hold, and I hope you will be able to join us next year. Before I finish, let me say thank you to our Defense Attaché, Staff Colonel Muhammad Al-Matroushi, as well our Education and Technology Science Attaché, Her Excellency Roda Al-Mansouri, who came all the way from Canberra to commemorate and celebrate with us this remarkable occasion. Shukran. Now, I would like to propose a toast to His Majesty King Charles III and the people of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And please enjoy the rest of the evening. Happy 52nd National Day. Namainio, Nomahai, Harimai, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā iwi, e ngā hau e whā, ngā mihi ki a koutou katoa. Good evening, assalamu alaikum. Ambassador Rashid Al-Kimzi, Your Excellency, thank you very much for the invitation to join you, your fellow citizens, and friends of the United Arab Emirates to mark this special day. It is a privilege to be with you to celebrate the 52nd National Day of the United Arab Emirates. The last year has seen the already strong and warm relationship between New Zealand and the UAE flourish. Our Ministers of Defence and, as you mentioned, Ambassador, Trade and Export Growth have both visited the United Arab Emirates this year, further reinforcing our broad bilateral ties. And the UAE Minister of State for International Cooperation, Her Excellency Reem Al-Hashimi, visited New Zealand in May. Her Excellency's visit was the first to New Zealand by a UAE minister since the COVID-19 pandemic, and paved the way, as Your Excellency mentioned in your comments, for the September announcement of exploratory discussions on a possible bilateral comprehensive economic partnership agreement. These high-level political visits are a key pillar in our relationship. They speak also to the significant opportunities that both of our countries see for further growth. We have much in common as small but agile trading nations, and we share a commitment to further deepening our ties, whether in the trade and economic, political, security, or people-to-people spheres. We are fortunate to be helped in these aspirations by strong air links, and I would like to acknowledge the key contribution that flag carrier Emirates plays both in connecting our two countries and helping to connect New Zealand with the Middle East region and beyond into Africa and Europe. In the broader regional context, I want to acknowledge that we do come together during an immensely difficult time for the Middle East as the conflict between Hamas and Israel continues. In recent weeks, we have seen the region and its people impacted by acts of horrendous terror, war, and the unbearable suffering of civilians in conflict, as well as a harrowing humanitarian cost, which is deeply worrying to all of us. I want to recognize that the United Arab Emirates and other partners in the region will play an important role in helping to bring the conflict to an end. We hope that this is another area where we can work together in coming weeks towards a shared objective of an end to the violence and a lasting peace in the Middle East. As you have commented, Your Excellency, your National Day this year comes very shortly before the UAE will host and preside over the 28th United Nations Climate Change Conference of the Parties, COP28 in Dubai. I know, Excellency, that you have been waiting today's news of our new government as diligently as many New Zealanders so that you might get a clearer sense of the makeup of our delegation to COP28. We wish you and COP President Sultan Ahmed Al Jaber all success in this significant international undertaking, and in delivering an ambitious outcome for the benefit of all of our peoples. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, in celebration of the 52nd National Day of the United Arab Emirates, and in recognition of the long-standing friendship between our two nations, may I invite you all to join me in a toast to the President, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and the government and the people of the United Arab Emirates. Kia ora.
Well, Your Excellencies, members of the diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen, my parliamentary colleagues, distinguished guests, kia ora, good evening, assalamu alaikum, and so very good to be here. Thank you for the introduction. I'm not the minister yet, so we need to get through a weekend and have a formal signing ceremony, and then there's no turning back. But Excellency, Ambassador, thank you for the kind invitation to join you this evening and also the opportunity to speak. It's a privilege, and I won't take too much of your time, but wanted to mark this occasion. You'll have seen over the last week or so, or 2 or 3 weeks since the special votes were announced, an ongoing progress through our media of exactly what's been happening to form a government. And we're very proud to say that the 3 parties of the coalition have come together, signed a formal agreement today, announcement of various portfolios, and a detailed work program for our government to work on behalf of all New Zealanders over the next 3 years. The time that we've taken has been very important for the leaders of the parties to get to know each other better than they have known each other speaking across Parliament to each other previously, but also to understand the commonality and policies that we want to work on. And it gives us an opportunity to have a strong and stable government that's forward-looking and that will work hard to deliver for all New Zealanders. Ambassador, I have the privilege of again being Trade Minister starting next week, and those other portfolios, the hunting and fishing one perhaps is less obvious in its importance with your great country, but I'm also privileged to be the Associate Minister, or will be the Associate Minister of Foreign Affairs. Can I say that our countries have shared friendship and worked closely together over many years? We often talk about trade, and as a Trade Minister, I've got a 1-hour speech about the importance of trade I'll save for another occasion. But actually, there is much more to the relationship than that. I want to recognise the leadership that your Prime Minister and leader and country is showing in the world at the moment through the many international meetings that you are hosting so very, very well. And with the new government formed, of course, we will play our part to make sure that not only the view of New Zealand and our region is represented, but that we'll work to make sure those meetings are a success for your country and for your people. Yeah, and well, you mentioned the weather earlier. We're a big government of exchange, so we'll send you some of our rain, and in return, if we could have some of your sunshine, and if between us we can find a way to control the weather, our nations will be rich forever. After COP20, yeah. Excellency, you mentioned also the opportunity for us to further economic links between our two countries. I want to recognise the work of the outgoing Minister Damien O'Connor in this regard. He's worked very, very hard on behalf of New Zealand, and there's a bipartisanship in trade that's developed over the last 3 or 4 years that wasn't always obvious when I was the Trade Minister. We pledge to continue that with all parties in Parliament that are open and progressive and want to form strong relationships. May I recognise others from the region who are here, particularly the Gulf Cooperation states, and say we look forward to joining with them. There's huge opportunity in your part of the world for New Zealanders, but more importantly for people from your countries, your citizens here in New Zealand, and we're open to exploring ways that we can progress that relationship much further. The final thing I think I wanted to say is to our honoured representatives of countries and diplomatic corps. Over the coming weeks in the run-up to our Christmas period, the government looks forward to meeting with as many of you as we can to talk about the important relationship that we share in ways that we can further that relationship. I hope that you will find, as often as is the case, the doors to the beehive as open as Emirates airline aeroplanes are when they arrive in Auckland. It's only through a constructive dialogue and conversation, country to country, away from the public and media, where it is appropriate, that we actually have a meeting of minds and can progress the agendas that we have together. And so we very much look forward to that. I'm going to finish now because I'm mindful that, as I said earlier, I'm not a minister until Monday. The speech so far hasn't got me in trouble, and so I'm going to finish now awaiting that. But again, thank you for the opportunity to come and join you this evening. Can I wish you and your country, men and women, and the citizens of your country well for your 52nd celebration of the UAE anniversary for your National Day. It's a privilege to be able to give a speech, the first one, I think, on behalf of the government so soon after the announcement today. May there be many more occasions like this. Kia ora.
Okay, I'm not even going to introduce her. Rowan.
Hi. You have to bear with me because I'm not very good at these and I'm nervous as anything, so... and I'm going to read it. I would like to start with a massive thank you to everyone that has travelled far and wide to be here with us tonight to celebrate with Mum and Dad. I would like to thank everyone that has helped me make this happen. Some of you have told a few more porkies than others, especially Sharon and Andy. So thank you very much for everyone for any size little porkies you've told to keep this surprise. Mum and Dad, I guess there were a few more people that knew about it than you thought this week. The surprises started a week ago with the arrival of Cam, Val and baby Peter arriving and me turning up at Mum and Dad's place after telling them a few more little porkies, dropping Cam and Val and Peter round the corner to make sure Mum and Dad were inside so that Peter could peer his head around the corner of the door to surprise them. And this he did. This was one of Mum and Dad's highlights and often talked about of their recent stay in North Carolina, where Peter would come to them every morning for cuddles in bed, and he would peer around the door at them, and this has continued this week in the caravan in Rotorua as well, and at home. After this surprise, Dad asked several times if this was the last surprise for the week, which I said yes, because that was last week. Although there was a bit more hiding required by family in Rotorua this week, peering out the caravan as they emptied their dump station where Jill, Pam, Jeff and Richard were staying. So uploads of photos came to me of them peering out the caravan windows. And finally, last night, Mum and Dad were once again surprised by what was just a small potluck dinner blamed on my children for not knowing what time they'd finished work, that we couldn't go out. And a minibus arrived, beeping its horn, and they continued to sit there going, oh, that's Lee over the road. No, it wasn't Lee when we all stood up, and the surprise on Mum and Dad's face when Sandra, Gino, Jordan, Maddie, Connor, Oakley, Danny, Tori, Alana, Josh, Oscar and Scarlett all arrived. And what a fabulous night we all had. Surely that had to be the end of the surprises. Continue to tonight. Here we are telling Mum and Dad we're going out to dinner with a few friends and family, and here you all are. Once, I'm going to reiterate what Cam said. Dad had, a few years ago, tried to sort a big party for his birthday, as he just wanted to get everyone together for a party. Well, here you go, Dad and Mum. Your family and your friends have travelled far and wide to make this happen and have managed to keep it quiet for a very, very long time to surprise you. This certainly has been a long time coming, and I can breathe again after this. So, a few things about Mum and Dad that stand out to me are their love for family and friends and travel across New Zealand and the world, and their love for spending time with family and friends. Over the years, we've enjoyed plenty of family holidays, get-togethers, and this has certainly continued once Roger and I had our family. A few of the memories over the years have been camping in Greytown, plenty of school holidays spent on the farm in Hunterville, which I can say my love for farm life started there, and I don't think I'd be where I am today if it hadn't have been for that. Our South Island holidays with the caves and plenty of others, caravanning and overseas holidays, rallying weekends away with Dad, and in more recent years, holidays and four-wheel drive trips with the family. One memory once we had kids was when once Roger and I had kids, was when Mum and Dad were living in Australia. Mum rang up, told me not to say anything and just listen. I'm not very good at that. She proceeded to say that she wanted Roger and myself to put Jake and Tim on the plane for them in 2 days' time, and they would travel with them and Connor across the Simpson Desert for 3 and a bit weeks. I thought this was the craziest idea, and after getting off the phone, I wasn't even going to bother telling Roger. I did tell Roger. We asked the boys. They wanted to go. The boys were at the time about 6 and 7, I think, if that. And guess what? 2 days later, they were on a plane, and that trip is still well talked about today. Another great memory is the trip that Mum, Zoe and I made this year to the USA to meet baby Peter, and all the special times that we had on our travels that day, both in that holiday in Hawaii and LA and at Cam's. Over the years, I know that many of you in this room tonight, like myself and my family, have enjoyed sharing Mum and Dad's love for caravanning and travel with them, and hopefully there's plenty more to come. Thanks, Mum and Dad, for everything you do for me and for my family. We love you both. That's right, get in there. I would like us all to raise our glasses to Mum and Dad. Congratulations, 50 years. Yes. And on that note, I would also like to acknowledge something else. Cam and Val and baby Peter have travelled from North Carolina to be here to surprise Mum and Dad. As many of you will know, Cam and Val were due to get married prior to COVID pandemic, and a small group of us had planned to travel to their holiday wedding destination, Bahamas. Unfortunately, COVID had other ideas, and about 2 weeks before we were due to fly, we had to cancel. The wedding was postponed and replanned for 12 months later. Mum and Dad were very fortunate to be able to fly to the wedding with Val's clever ideas of how to get a vaccination. And the rest of us, plenty of us here, watched via internet, and I'm very grateful for my family that made it, and Kylie and Andy who travelled up so we could celebrate that day. So on that account, I would also like you to raise your glasses again, and I'd like to propose a toast to Cam and Val. Congratulations on your wedding. As we didn't get to celebrate it with you in person at the time, to Cam and Val. Cam and Val. Thank you.
So I'm speaking on behalf of myself and Danny, so I'm just going to kick into it. In my teens, I got a job in Upper Hutt, and Mum and Dad lived a really long way from town, and so every second weekend I stayed with Jill and Peter so that I could go to work. And Peter and Jill got their first taste of parenting a teen while I was there with them, me begging them to take me to work at 6 o'clock in the morning when it was raining because I didn't want to ride my bike. And then a couple of years after that, my dad died, and Pete and Jill upped their support of Mum and Danny and I. I bounced cheques all over town when I got my first job. I had no idea how to manage a chequebook. People in this room don't even know what that looks like. But anyway, I well and truly overdrew my account, and I had to go and work with Pete to learn how to manage my budget and manage my accounts. And at one stage, I did tell him that I'd go to the whorehouse next door if I needed to earn myself a bit of extra cash.
You'll see that I've come with no notes. That's because when Roanne emailed me and said, could I say a few words, I said no. And it wasn't until Cam announced my name that I realised I was even coming up here.
It was your wife that responded to me first.
Yeah, but and then followed it on by no. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Daryl. I'm Jill's younger, far better looking brother. In fact, I'm her favourite brother. By virtue of being the only one. And so consequently I've known Jill all of my life. And I can't believe that it's actually 50 years since she got hooked up with Pete. I don't know how you put up with him for that period of time. I know, yeah. Say this is going to be a really, really short one, and it certainly won't be, I won't be bringing any tears to anybody, I can assure you of that. A couple of things to remember is that most marriages in New Zealand only last 13.6 years. According to Google, which kind of, it's pretty impressive when you get to 50. People make it to 60 years. So, you've got a wee way to go yet. But Jill and Pete, I have often looked at Jill and Pete and sort of thought they were almost like the perfect parents. Jill's like the mother to everybody, including her brothers and sisters.
The mic. I'm little. All right, and the glasses. All right, so when you're asked, okay, so I'm Pam, little sister to Peter. For those of you who don't know me, I can't see you through my glasses, so we could have a bit of this over this. When you're asked to say a few words, it's like, where do I start? So I thought, okay, I'm going to start at the very beginning, like the song says. Peter Vincent was born on the 29th of January 1951, third child to Julie and Jim Hosey. And on the 7th of August 1952, Gillian Leslie was born to May and Stan Rain. Both families eventually had 3 girls and 1 boy, and they were the third child in each one. When Peter was a baby, Mum and Dad had an ice cream factory, and you all know, or most of you will know, that Peter's got a great love of ice cream. While Julie and Jill got the ice cream cones full of ice cream, Peter only got a cone, so he's been making up for it ever since, having ice cream wherever he goes. Growing up, Peter seemed to always look out for me. Excuse me, I'm kind of nervous. We would get sixpence for washing our bikes. Peter would wash mine and give me the sixpence. When I started college, we lived in Hiratonga, and it was quite some kilometres to our school. Peter used to bike with me to college, and he went to Upper Hutt and I went to Hiratonga and home in the afternoon, and he would ride back to Hiratonga with me. He was always looking out for me. Not a lot of boys would do that for their little sister. After I started work, Peter was one of these people that gathered cars. Mum called them wrecks. And she actually said to him one day in 1968, when Dad was at university in the US, she said, "You've got to get rid of these." But when I started work, Peter loaned me one of these cars to use, and it had doors that opened backwards. I don't know what it was now. It was a little green and yellow thing. It was old. It was very old. Even then, it was very old. One day I was driving to work, and the next minute I was sitting in the car driving it, and I saw this wheel go past me onto the road, and I thought, oh, somebody's lost a wheel. Next minute,
look, I mean, a lot of what we've talked about here has been family, but I do want to also acknowledge like the friends and so forth that are here that have also become like family. I apologise for those that I'll miss, but obviously, the Gibbs is Gillian and Nick. As I look around the Lumsdens, extended rays and so forth, like thank you all so much for being here as well. Mum, I said I'd have the last word, but as I reflect on this, it seems more fair that I actually give you the last word. No, but you're not speaking yet, so come on. With my vast experience of 2 years of marriage, roughly speaking, it seems to me that the key ingredients of a marriage are unconditional support, unconditional love, and an unconditional sense of adventure and a willingness just to do it. And I can't imagine a couple that embodies it more than my parents, and it's it's an inspiration to me, genuinely. It's something which I always wondered if I'd ever be able to live up to, and I really hope that I can. So thank you for that, for being that role model. And I think you can hear that in the comments that everyone's making around the room at the moment as to like how much of a beacon that's been for a lot of people. So thank you for that. So I don't want to belabor this at all. Thank you for the love. Thanks for the love that you have for all of your grandchildren and probably the imminent great-grandchildren, Tim. Yeah, sorry. Thank you for the unconditional platform that you've given Rowan and myself, Sandra and Danny, the fact that you'll be there no matter what, even when times are really, really shit. That's absolutely part of it, and thank you so much for that.
This is completely unprepared, so just be aware. But first of all, before I start, I want to really acknowledge the fact that so many of you are here, and we really do appreciate it. I look around the room, and every person, my mind is full of memories, and that is just so special. Well, I'm grateful that Pete and I are here today, and for that to be, for us to be able to share in this way. So thank you. Hey? We're not at a funeral, okay? Not at a funeral. Yeah. Let me tell you that Pete for years has said that when he dies, he wants his eyes to be put on the wall. And the reason his eyes need to be there? Because there were lots of great girls, okay? He wants his eyes put there. I can do whatever I like with his ashes. And so that I can have a family holiday with my kids and their partners, because he's lived that long, and we can go and move Dad on.